Hey, how are you doing today? So I have kind of a fun little snack of a makeup look today. I wanted to get ready for a rock concert that I'm going to tonight with my husband for his birthday, but I didn't want to do grungy and like black. You know what I mean? So I wanted like a pop of color. I wanted to feel like I was actually going to a party kind of atmosphere. We're gonna go see Smashing Pumpkins, so that kind of gives you an idea. Or if you're curious about this kind of look and you want to just figure that out for something fun, then definitely stay tuned. Okay guys, I'm gonna put on my Belif True Aqua Bomb, the True Cream Aqua Bomb. I don't know why that doesn't just stick in my head. Okay, so while that sinks in, we're just gonna go ahead and start with the eyes because we're gonna use one of my new favorite little palettes again today. I just love this thing. I don't know. I just really like simple, effective stuff, but that you can still do a lot with, you know? So for me, this is so great. I'm gonna use my MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly. I'm gonna take my Inglot Durline. It's meant to re-moisten stuff like this, like in pots, like cream eyeshadows or dip, like pomade for your eyebrows. It's also meant to like kind of revive the actual color to make it pop more and apparently make it waterproof, like all this stuff. So this makes it really rich and creamy. Bim biddy bim bim. All of a sudden we have no discoloration or veins. Since this has made it really moist, I'm actually gonna do my brows for a change. I'm gonna use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow in the shade Ash Brown. Okay, so let's launch in. I'm like anxious. I don't know why. So today, this is the start of the show, and I'm really excited to finally be using this bad boy because I've used all of the other ones, all other 5. So we're gonna start with, what's this one called again? Loungy? Yeah, Loungy. And then we'll deepen it up a little bit with Wanderlust. A little bit, yeah. Okay, going in with Loungy with a big fluffy brush from Morphe. M504. I'm going to do a generous dusting of this one. So I'm putting a nice generous amount in the crease here, and then I'm just kind of swishing it around on the edges to diffuse the edges. This shade is that excellent step in transitioning all the other richer colors into just like the skin tone around. So it just gives that gradation effect, which is really nice with eyeshadow. Then I'm gonna take a more tapered crease brush that's a little bit more fluffy, and I'm gonna go into Wanderlust here. So first I'm just taking care of deepening that crease real quick here. So I go wish, 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 and then I go in circles. So now we have that further depth, which is fun. Then I'm gonna go in another time and start to put that on the outer corner here. The outer third of the lid, I should say, including this outer corner. So just that whole section. Still keeping it low on the actual crease. So I'm just patting it on here. And then I'm just kind of dragging that outward a little bit. All right, so we've got this lovely terracotta base that will be just such a fun contrast with the blue. But right before we go into the blue, I want to do one more thing. I'm going to take my beloved Smith 247, which has, it's that good combination between a crease fluffy brush, but it is more flat. And it still has a little bit of that taper, and so it's just really easy to kind of get in and be more precise without it being super stiff. I'm going to take a tiny bit of, what is it called again? Finders Keepers. Just even less than where this Wanderlust shade is. Yeah, just to deepen it. Holding the end of my handle, and I'm barely touching my skin. I'm going to take that out a little bit so it's not so rounded. Okay, we've deepened it up. It's going to be exciting and I can't wait to like clean that up. So last but so not least, we are going to take this beauteous baby called Palma. I usually have the best luck when I just simply use my fingertip. So I always like to press and like lightly drag. Okay. Yes. Then I always tuck it into my lash line at my roots. See how I stop at that outer third there? When I don't really actually have much product left on my finger to like come off onto my lid, that's when I just start smoothing out all the edges. See, like right in here, I want to smooth that out. And then I will take a little bit actually, and then start to sandwich them and kind of marry those edges so that they overlap a bit. Not bad, eh? I just checked on the Ulta website actually, just because I have the app and it's a little faster. And it does say that Palma, and Sun Glow. So these two in the center here can be used wet or dry. So I think I'm gonna do the same on this side and apply it with my finger dry. And then I think I'm gonna go in with a tiny bit of Fix Plus and apply it a little bit damp and see if it makes it pop like even more. A little bit crazy, but I have just applied a Fix Plus on my fingertip. And then I'm going in, ooh, I hope this works. Oh yes, see, look at that jump. I'm gonna try and avoid the edges since I already kind of smoothed them out. Okay, I think that did it. That wasn't bad. I think it pops a little bit more. Like this one, you can see it's almost like that gray undertone. That's what I'm talking about. See, I love me a metallic, a foiled metallic. I love it. Look at that. Wow. Yes, please. I think I'm gonna do mascara and falsies and then clean up the rest because then we'll be done with all that, you know? Okay, so I got a mini of the Monsieur Big from Lancome. It's not Monsieur, it's Monsieur. I almost said it wrong myself. I have so much glitter now that I'm looking closer. That's why you do your eye makeup first, folks. It's not bad. It's a good base for me putting on my beautiful falsies now. I'm definitely thinking, yeah, I just love these so much. I'm gonna do my Lilly lashes in the style Ash Comb. I was keeping track of how many times I was using these, but I've lost count now. It's definitely over 15 times and they still are doing great. This side lost a bunch of hairs like right there, if you can tell right here. So it does look a lot more sparse towards the front. And I can't remember what happened. I think I was removing the glue and like a bunch fell loose. And so I think I just kind of is a user error, but like this one is still full and perfect. I love this style. This style is like meant for me. I love to tilt my head back and then just wedge it right in there. Okay, so we have those babies on. Now I'm gonna take this little square of a makeup wipe and I'm gonna clean up all of this glitter and fallout. And I'm gonna fold this like this and just drag this upward like that. And it just cleans it up. Kind of fun, huh? So easy. And the way to do that is you have that nice fold and then you just drag it leading from your lower lash line here. So I just tucked it in there and then I pressed with my fingers down to make sure that the makeup wipe was firm against my skin. And then you just drag it and it just kind of naturally follows the shape of your face. It's easy. Okay, Okay, so let's do the face really quickly. I'm going to use my new drugstore foundation that I tried the other day, as you'll see again with the black smoky eye. My first impression was really positive. I loved how it went on my face. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. It's in the shade 202, Creamy Natural. Today is the first day of Joy School for my daughter, so I'm really excited for her. I hope she's having a wonderful time. So I'm excited to pick her up soon and talk to her about it. I'm sure she'll be in just great spirits. And for just $10.99 at Target, I think that's pretty dang good. Doesn't that look nice? It says that it is medium coverage with a radiant finish, and I think I agree. Like, it doesn't look heavy, and you can still see some of my natural features. You can still see my beauty marks, some of my freckles. It's great. Keeping in with drugstore, let's just keep going with that. So we're going to use our Instant Age Rewind from Maybelline in the shade Light. I'm just going to put this pretty dang generously under my eyeballs. I just like to have a really especially seamless under eye when I have a lot going on top of the eye. So I like to use this particular concealer really generously because it's really thin, light, and lightweight. And I just find it goes on better for me if I have a nice thick layer. I take my Beauty Blender and then just press that in, especially the edges, and just blend that in. And I try not to go too far down when I'm applying it because I don't want it to get too heavy, because this area for me is the one area that I'm like, it can look a little heavy or a little cakey. And I'm being really careful that when I get to this part where we created that great little line, I'm just kind of sticking to like going around it. So there's still some concealer there. There's not a huge gap, but I'm not interrupting that line. Flawless. I'm gonna let that sit for a hot second before I set it with my Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I always use it. I'm gonna take my F35 from Sigma. Another high quality brush. Heck, this never sheds on me. It looks perfect from like when I bought it, what, like 3-4 years ago? I've been using the same bronzer for a long time now, which is the Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Medium. This was special packaging. This was like a deluxe size, so yours would look a little different than this. But because I've been using it so much and I still love it 100%, I just want to mix it up for you guys a little bit more. So this is one of my other favorites. This is the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion in the shade 20M. Put that in there real nice because this is such a soft bronzer. It's gorgeous. So if you don't want to go ham and you love that undetectable non-powder finish, which is really hard to find, you have to get this. So look at that difference. We have that definition, some bronze, but not too much because we don't want to overwhelm with our bright eyes. I'm gonna pinch the fluffy brush and get it on the sides of my nose a weird bit. It's so satisfying to use good products. Yes, yes. Okay, so we're gonna duplicate what we did on the top, but it's just way easier. It's just always so much easier. So let's buff this one generously first, which is Loungy, and then we'll do a little bit of Wanderlust. And so let's do that really quick. So I love to use my E18, which is just a really, really velvety smooth dome brush. I love this for the lower lash line. So I first like to always press in the eyeshadow. So I just really pack it in place so you get that really, just the full effect of the pigment, you know? I don't really like diluted eyeshadow. And we're just using the baby sister. This is the E36, so it's just more pointed and just like all around, just smaller. So I just like to press that in on an angle and top off just a tiny bit. These are not super dusty eyeshadows, which I really, really appreciate. Let's just stick to the lash line here. Sticking with this brush, we're gonna dip a little bit into Finders Keepers. It's probably way too much because it's so pigmented. I'm just gonna do that outer corner here. And that's it. Just to see, just to tie it in to that outer corner. Ooh, yes. And just stick up like high into that lash line. We're literally just connecting it. Like don't like rub it in out here. We want to maintain what we already did, not mess with it. So I'm just taking this and just smoothing out. I'm just leaving it at that. Yes. I'm gonna go in with Poquito mask to do some highlighting. It's a really unique shade, so I looked up on the Ulta app again to see what they say, and they say it's a pearly base with iridescent pastel, peach, and pink hues. So you've got quite a little mixture in there, so it's really unique. So we're gonna use that to just highlight our brow bone. I'm gonna use my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara, longest title. I hate it when companies do that. All right, we're done with our palette. So I'm gonna use my mini Laura Geller in the shade Tropic Hues, which is just this marble coral pinky kind of feel. Take my Japonesque powder brush. Just really like this shape a lot. So we'll just add a little bit to the apples and just kind of like the front and top of the cheeks. Okay, I think that's beautiful. You could totally leave it at that. But if you want to just play around a little bit more, I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown highlighter powder in the shade Opal Glow because I think that would just be a fun touch today. And honestly, like these highlighting powders from Bobbi Brown are so soft and subtle. They're not super like foiled or frosty. So I feel like this is just a nice addition to go that extra. And I mean, I am going to a rock concert, so. Then I'm gonna do a little up in here. Cause it's kind of like that inner corner highlight, but a little stronger where it's peachy pink iridescence. I'm gonna use this lip liner from NYX. It's just in the shade Natural. Then I'm gonna use my favorite lip gloss of all time. It's my Buxom Full On Lip Cream in the shade White Russian. I have a couple sparkly ones. Oh my gosh. And these are just my favorite formula of all time. They have that tingle. They stay in place really well. This is just a perfect peachy, pinky nude. I love it. You could keep it matte if you wanted to, but I like a gloss.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
You're saying hi. Anyways, this is our final look. What do you guys think? I always love to hear from you. So if you would rock this at a rock concert, let me know. I think this will be so fun. I think it'll put me in the right mindset and I'll just be in party mode. It'll just be so fun and expressive. So I hope you guys give this a try. Just be brave, follow what I did. And I will see you guys next time. Mwah. Take care.